Hello. On this edition of MTA Commuter Connections, we'll show you how MTA Mobility Paratransit is making a difference in the lives of many in our region. We've got a few suggestions of things to see and places to visit on the new MTA MARC train weekend service. And we'll answer your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment, right here. I'm Paulette Ostrich. Welcome to MTA Commuter Connections. Saturday, December 7th marked the start of MARC train weekend service between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Both interest and ridership was great for the inaugural run. MTA Commuter Connections was there for the launch.
A new era in transportation has begun. Long requested by passengers, MARC train service on the Penn Line now links two of America's great cities, Baltimore and Washington, D.C. on weekends.
I do love taking the train.
I've taken Amtrak probably 500 times in my life. I don't think I've ever taken it from Baltimore to Washington.
At Baltimore's Penn Station, some passengers arrived early to catch the inaugural ride. Others who arrived later in the day were happy to learn that 9 round-trip trains were on tap for Saturday, offering schedule flexibility to even the busiest of travelers.
Wow, it's amazing.
If the pricing are the least, the people can frequently travel on that. No?
I think I could get on the MARC and go to DC, yes.
Political and community leaders were on hand for ceremonies at Washington's Union Station and at Penn Station in Baltimore. At the West Baltimore station, Maryland Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, along with Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, boarded a MARC train northbound to Charm City to experience firsthand the MARC train experience. In Baltimore, they were met by local, state, and national leaders.
There are families that simply want to enjoy life. They're not trying to get to Disney World, they're just trying to get to D.C.
Every year, we look for ways to increase the financial impact of tourism to the tourism industry in Baltimore, and with the expanded MARC service, it's just one new way we're hoping to attract new visitors to Baltimore each year.
We've invested $46 million to make this MARC weekend service possible. And over the past 7 years, we've invested more than $500 million in the MARC system because we know that Marylanders and Baltimoreans rely on it each and every day during the week and now on the weekend.
MARC train weekend service will include 9 round trips on Saturdays and 6 round trips on Sundays. For more information, go to www.mta.maryland.gov.
MARC weekend service is becoming a popular means of Saturday-Sunday travel from Baltimore to our nation's capital to experience and explore all it offers. We featured D.C. places of interest on a previous program, but Baltimore offers a lot as well for those D.C. area commuters who want to spend a day or a weekend in Baltimore for its many attractions and activities. Joining us with a few suggestions on things to do and places to visit in Baltimore is Sarah Warfield of Visit Baltimore. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
So, Visit Baltimore, what's that all about?
So Visit Baltimore, we are the official marketing arm for the city of Baltimore in terms of tourism and convention business. So our job is to really get visitors here to Baltimore. So we do promotions throughout the year. We try and attract leisure and business travelers to Baltimore to generate economic impact for the city.
Oh, fantastic. How long has Visit Baltimore been around?
Oh, we've been around for almost 30 years. We're right here in Baltimore. We work very closely with our partnership at the Convention Center to book large citywide conventions that you're used to seeing, like Otakon, the Firehouse Expo every year, the American Craft Council. But then we also work on a number of leisure promotions. So Restaurant Week, we do that with Downtown Partnership of Baltimore, and various different campaigns where we work with our attractions and our restaurants and our retail community.
Otakon, that's one of my favorites.
Yes, they are definitely fun to see.
How many people would you say are served by your efforts?
Well, we saw about 22.3 million visitors last year, and that number is continuing to grow. So we welcome visitors from near and far, international and domestically, to visit Baltimore. We also operate the Visitor Center over at the Inner Harbor. So for both locals that are looking for things to do or interesting happenings going on around town, they can stop in, but it's also a resource for visitors, so they could stop in and get a visitor guide, and they can learn all about the different things to see and do in the city. We can book restaurant reservations for them or hotel reservations, and it's all a free resource for both residents and for visitors.
Yeah, I've been over there, lots of information.
Oh, good, yes.
As you know, MTA recently launched MARC weekend service, which has proven wildly popular. Can you give us a couple of places and things to do and see in Baltimore for Washington area viewers that may not be familiar?
Sure, absolutely. I think the best thing about the MARC service is it's really easy and convenient to get here from DC, so you can take it right into Baltimore's Penn Station, and from there you can take the free Charms City circulator down to the, what people think of as the main Inner Harbor area. But you can go to, we have 3 great art museums in Baltimore, 2 of which offer free permanent admission. So the Walters Art Museum, it's right there in Mount Vernon, so you can take the circulator from Penn Station, get off there and explore 55 centuries of art. Their permanent collection, it's great. It's all donated right at the heart of our Mount Vernon Square. So you know Mount Vernon in DC, but you can experience Baltimore's Mount Vernon as well. We also have a monument to George Washington in Mount Vernon as well. So that'll be familiar to those from DC. But we also have the Baltimore Museum of Art, and they have the largest collection of Matisse paintings in the world. So you can check that out. Both of those art museums are free. And then if you're looking for kind of a different art museum experience, the American Visionary Art Museum is a really great place to explore. It's all works from untrained artists. So some of the things you might expect to see, a large pink poodle kinetic sculpture, a giant whirligig outside. It's very interesting, lots to see and explore, and not your typical museum experience. There's things that you can touch and feel as well. And then, we have our family-friendly attractions. So the National Aquarium is here in Baltimore. They just opened a new blacktip reef exhibit. So they have a really immersive viewing area where it's floor-to-ceiling windows, and you literally stand and you feel like you're in an Indo-Pacific reef. And the blacktip sharks are coming right up to you, and you can almost reach out and touch them. It's really amazing. And then of course the Maryland Science Center. They have a great Mummies of the World exhibit going on. It's the last national touring location in the U.S. if you wanted to come and learn all about mummies and some of their related artifacts.
Wow, we really have a lot going on in Baltimore, don't
we? We really do, and not just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, where can MARC commuters and viewers get additional information on things to do in the Baltimore region?
Sure, absolutely. Our website is a really great resource. It's baltimore.org. Then we also have an 800 number, so if you're, like to talk to someone versus just surfing the web, you can call it 866-BALTIMORE. And we'll give you all the information. We have a calendar of events of all the things that are happening around town. There's great hotel packages and offers on our website. And then you can figure out links and addresses and times for all of the attractions around town.
Is Visit Baltimore a year-round operation?
Yes, we are. We operate 365 days a year. The Visitor Center is open most days except major holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving. But yeah, those resources are available.
That's great. Lots of great information, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, a look at how mobility paratransit is making a difference for a local organization and its program participants. That's next. Each and every day, a large number of people look to MTA Mobility for their important travel to work, school, church, and other opportunities. Additionally, there are local organizations that rely on MTA Mobility Paratransit as a means of transport for its program participants. One such organization is Chimes, where mobility serves as a very important lifeline. Joining us with a look at the Chimes and the part mobility plays there is its president and CEO, Martin Lampner. Hi,
it's
Martin.
a pleasure to be here.
A couple of questions for you. What is the mission of Chimes?
Chimes is here to provide opportunity to people to invest themselves and be part of their community in every way possible.
And how long has it existed and how did it come to be?
We are in our 66th year. It was actually founded by a group of parents. 5 parents felt their kids had potential. It was a time when the system didn't recognize that, and they set out to prove it.
And how many people are assisted by Chimes each year?
Across our entire system, 17,000, approximately 1,500 here in the state of Maryland.
Oh, that's a huge number. What are the programs that the Chimes offers?
Chimes offers a wide variety of services. We are well known for our employment programs, and most people in the community have met our folks, even if they don't know it, if they've been to a ball game, flown out of BWI, visited the Social Security building down on Green Street. We do a lot of work putting people back into the job market. We also provide housing, counseling services, and a variety of residential options.
Oh, that's wonderful. What does Chimes mean to your participants?
For many of them, I think it's their doorway into broader participation in Maryland.
And how important is MTA mobility to Chimes and its participants?
It's critical. Mobility is the way that folks who, either because of physical challenges, other needs, who cannot make use of their own transport, a car, what have you, or the public transport system, the buses and subway, can get around the area. And in many cases, these are folks who have significant barriers to independence. Mobility is one of those things that helps break that down.
And feel self-sufficient.
Absolutely.
How does your organization receive funding?
We are funded in a variety of ways. We are, it's paid by the state of Maryland for certain services we provide. When we do things like clean the stadium, we are effectively a commercial contractor, and whatever profit we can make off of that gets plowed back into traditional services.
That's great. How has Chimes changed over the years?
Well, when I came in 1989, we were a $9 million organization serving roughly 500 people here in Baltimore. Today, as I say, we save 17,000 people. Our annual budget's about $180 million, and we are poised to continue to grow and try and fill in where there are needs that are not being met.
That's fantastic. How might an organization donate or support the Chimes organization?
That's a large number. We have approximately 3,000 folks in and around the community who support us, a mix of businesses and individuals.
What part does mobility paratransit services play in the operating function of the Chimes?
A variety. As you mentioned in your intro, it helps people get to work. It can get them to their doctor's appointments. It can get them to program services, and also out on social events.
How many people at Chimes rely on this service for transportation, do you think?
We know at least 250 are daily users of the system, but I suspect there's probably as many who use it as they need it for one-off visits and other types of services where they need to get out into the community.
And how can viewers get information about Chimes and its services?
Well, of course, we're always glad to hear from them. They can call our main phone number, 410-358-6400. Certainly our website, www.chimes.org. And we're very proud of that. That is a barrier-free site. It works with readers, speech programs, and we're very proud of the information there. And we love to hear from people through that. And they're on a variety of social media as well. You can find us on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Great, you're everywhere. One last question. What's new ahead for Chimes?
Well, we believe that people deserve the opportunity to work in their community, and we're going to be working to develop new opportunities for people with significant disabilities to find employment.
That's great, Martin. Thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
The residents of One East Baltimore community joined local, state, and national leaders for the groundbreaking of a very important project. It was for the construction of a new MTA Kirk Division bus maintenance facility.
3, 2, 1.
A cold drizzle couldn't keep national, state, and local leaders from joining with Baltimore community members for the groundbreaking of the Kirk Avenue bus facility. The two-phase project will replace the 66-year-old Kirk facility with two enclosed buildings, a maintenance building and a transportation and storage building. The structures will reduce noise, exhaust fumes, and visibility of the buses to the surrounding community.
This facility is going to enable us to deliver the kind of service, the kind of quality service that the people of Baltimore are entitled to.
This is a pretty significant federal grant, and it's for the right reason. It's for a facility that will be an asset to the community, that'll help a community that's coming back, and it'll provide great transit opportunities for the entire region.
The Kirk facility project will create hundreds of local jobs over the next 4 years. The maintenance building project has a goal of 30% participation with disadvantaged business enterprise firms.
The MTA has also established a goal of hiring nationally targeted workers, including military veterans, those who live in an economically distressed area, the homeless, and the long-term unemployed, to perform 15% of all the work on this project.
U.S. Deputy Transportation Secretary John Percari took a turn at the controls of a tractor shovel moving earth to make way for the new complex. The project includes an extra bonus for the Kirk community, landscape space that will feature an open lawn, gazebo with walking paths,
fencing, pedestrian lighting, and ornamental plants and trees.
We're going from looking at buses to enjoying a beautiful environmental garden.
This project is a great example of how businesses, transit hubs, neighborhoods, and schools can coexist and work together for a better Baltimore.
Construction of the community green space is expected to be complete in 2014.
Just ahead, we'll introduce you to one of the many important people at MTA who make your transit ride possible. And we'll answer your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment. Stay with us. Someone wise once said, "Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work." Those sentiments do ring true. One such person who lives up to that saying is the subject of our MTA employee profile this month. When a transit bus breaks down, Supervisor John Baumbach and the Bush Division bus maintenance crew jump into action.
My name is John Baumbach. I'm a supervisor here at Bus Maintenance, Operations Support. Generally what we do here is to the heavy-duty repairs. So if you have an engine or a transmission that's failing, that's where it ends up in our shop here. A lot of times rebuilding it is a better venue. We have a federal mandate to keep the buses on the road for 12 years at least. We always have surprises when you come in the morning. Over the weekends things will break down more often, but Monday morning you kind of hit the ground running. You know, if there's an event, a snowstorm, typically you see a lot of transmission failures. Summertime, if you have a particularly hot weekend or overnight, you see a lot of engine overheats. It can be challenging sometimes, but a lot of times, you know, keeps you busy. Okay, yeah, you got to put the hub adapter. The hub on. I've been with the MTA for 8 years now. I've been in management now for 4.5. I actually started here on the floor as a mechanic. It is enjoyable work, especially when you start seeing the long-term effects. But with the opportunities that have been given to us, you start seeing a lot of the programs that we've instituted are actually starting to help get us ahead of the curve. And that's one of the advantages we have here, that you actually have a chance to become familiar and really get to know a coach. One of the big things we try to focus on down here also is getting our guys training and keeping them up to speed on the changing fleets and different coaches that are coming out. You know, we're actually starting to see the trend turn around. You know, for a long time there we had a lot of dirty buses, you know, you'd see them going down, barreling down the road, blowing black smoke. Now, I mean, you could almost, I wouldn't recommend it, but the exhaust is almost clean enough now that we've got them tuned to such a point, it's almost no smoke at all. And, you know, that's something that we've worked really hard to accomplish here. All right, buddy. All right, keep it up, man. Okay. Seems like we're on the uptrend right now. You know, we're really starting to turn a corner as far as, you know, improving transit systems and getting our ridership what they need out there. I'm definitely proud to be part of the MTA.
Thanks to John Baumbach and all of the dedicated employees of MTA who make transit possible in Maryland. From our MTA employees to the questions and concerns of our MTA customers, Marisol Peralta of the MTA Customer Information Group joins us now to answer your customer questions and concerns. Hello, Marisol.
Hello, Paulette.
How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. What do you have for us today?
Today we have questions regarding our day passes, our local bus drivers, and our Metro subway. Our first question is,
my name is Robin Broadfoot, and I'm from the Highlandtown area. And when I got on the bus today, at first there was a little confusion as to whether I could get one of these passes, all-day pass. And my question is, had I not been able to get this on the bus, can I just walk right over to one of these machines and purchase an all-day pass?
Yes, passes can be purchased at the ticket vending machine at our light rail stations and also at all of our Metro subway stations. And our next question is,
one of the things I really appreciate about riding mass transit in other cities is the fact that within the subway cars there are maps not only of the system but also of streets for people who are not familiar with the city. So my question is, would it be possible to put street maps and the system map within the rail cars so that people who are not from Baltimore would know where they are and where the stops are within the city?
the MTA is in the process of putting kiosks at our Metro stations. We presently have one at the Charles Center Metro station. Our next question is?
I'm standing right here at the MTA station today, and my major concern for the public is that I have diabetes, and sometimes I get on it, so I ride it a lot. Having a public restroom, right, for people that really got to use the bathroom is really becoming a problem. That's my main concern. If y'all really could look into that.
At the present time, the MTA does not have any restrooms at our metro stations. We are concerned regarding customers' health and safety. Our next question is?
My question to MTA is why the new drivers that we have, mostly young drivers, why are they not taught consideration? Why are they not taught courtesy? Like they're afraid to tell people to turn their music down, or they're afraid to tell people not to talk loud on their phones?
Yes, this is part of their training, and if they have any problems on any of our services, they need to call the police. Please look us up on Facebook, Twitter, and our MTA website. We would love to hear from you.
Thank you, Marisol. That was good stuff.
Thank you. You're welcome.
That brings us to the end of another Commuter Connections program. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Take care.